Cody Rhodes nearly got his name back, bless him, but it doesn't look like we're going to see the name Cody Rhodes in AEW anytime soon. Despite WWE not going for renewal of their trademark for the Cody Rhodes name, it appears that this is now changing with late renewal by WWE going in. WWE, of course, has owned the name Cody Rhodes throughout his career, which is why he hasn't been able to use his second name in AEW or New Japan or Ring of Honor or Impact Wrestling, NWA, wherever he's been. He's only been presented as Cody. This is because WWE owns the Cody Rhodes name. Now, WWE's trademark of the Cody Rhodes name did initially lapse on April 13, 2020, and Cody was quick to file a trademark to get his name rights. However, WWE has now filed a late renewal, claiming that due to COVID-19, there were delays in payment and delays of filing the trademark. This was filed on May 15, 2020, over a month after the trademark initially lapsed. Which, to be honest, that excuse of due to the pandemic and due to the ongoing situation, the global crisis, we just, we didn't have time to file the trademark. There was delay in payment. There was delay in filing the trademark. That is a load of baloney. That isn't true. That just isn't true. They just didn't care, and now that they do, or they got caught cold and they realised, wait a minute, why haven't we filed to renew this? They've done it time and time again when it comes to trademarks. The pandemic had nothing to do with the late renewal. It was a convenient excuse. That's what it is. It was a convenient excuse for WWE to file and renew this trademark of Cody Rhodes. That's exactly what it is. The pandemic had nothing to do with it. It's just convenient for WWE there, and we'll go into more reasons in a second. Cody Rhodes' application initially was refused due to its similarity to WWE's registration of the Cody Rhodes name, and now Cody has 6 months from June 30 to respond to the, quote, likelihood of confusion, end quote, letter that he was sent. Now, Cody, it doesn't matter, I can call him whatever I want. Cody has responded to a fan comment on the whole trademark situation on Twitter. He's explained that he holds no grudge against WWE for the move. He said, quote, it's just business, end quote. He wrote, quote, it's not as sultry/scandalous as reported, it's just business. They've seen the same data we have, and they know they can make big money off the brand, brackets, even though it's not in their house, close brackets. Trying to license me is flattering, but it doesn't stop the train from moving. No grudge, end quote. Ultimately, Cody Rhodes is right, or Cody. What should we call him? We'll call him Cody Rhodes. Who cares? I'll call him Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, he's right. Ultimately, that's just what it is. It is business. It's just business. It's very petty, of course, from WWE. That's nothing new. But petty is business nowadays. And petty is, well, I say nowadays, petty's always been business. I think that's just the case. The business world is a very cutthroat world. It's all about making money and making the most money that you can and making sure that your competitors don't make money. But again, this goes back to my biggest gripe in the whole WWE versus AEW thing, or whatever you want to call it. It goes back to this situation of WWE, they aren't interested in AEW. The WWE doesn't even look at AEW, right? You hear this from them all the time, all of their superstars, all of their executives. You ever get Triple H in an interview, or you hear these sources and reports of everyone out there. WWE, they don't even look at AEW. AEW isn't competition. They just look at themselves. It's not even in the same league. We don't even pay any attention to AEW. How many times have we heard that? And once again, it's been proven that that is absolutely false. It's not true. It's not true. I have no problem, once again, with WWE keeping this trademark. Some people will say, just let him have his name. Just let him have his name. Do what he can. I think it's the right thing for WWE, from their point of view, to keep the trademark, because it would cost them money. But again, don't try and tell us, or don't try and spin this narrative, this lie, that AEW isn't competition, because it obviously is. It obviously is. WWE won't allow Cody Rhodes to use the Cody Rhodes name because it will make Cody Rhodes and AEW money. And that's ultimately what it comes down to at the end. Cody Rhodes said it just there. They've seen the same data that AEW have. They know they can make big money off a brand, even though the brand isn't even with them anymore. It's not in their house. They know And he's being very subtle there, Cody, when he says this, but this is what he's basically saying. They know that they've seen the data. They know that AEW can make money. Cody Rhodes can make money off the Cody Rhodes brand. WWE at the moment can't make really any money off the Cody Rhodes brand because Cody Rhodes isn't even signed with their company. But they know that AEW can make money, and that's what it comes down to. It's about money. And if they And look, I mentioned it just then. Cody Rhodes, if he had the Cody Rhodes name, he and AEW could make money. And ultimately, that is money that the WWE isn't making. That is the money that another company is making. The Rhodes name and the Cody Rhodes name was on WWE television and part of the WWE for nearly 10 years. There's a lot of stock in that name. There's a lot of name recognition in that brand and in that name, as Cody says, even though Cody is no longer with the company. There's a lot of stock in it. There's a lot of brand recognition there. If Cody could use that name and if Cody could use the Cody Rhodes name, he and AEW could reach possibly a wider audience. It would help AEW promote and sell their TV and their pay-per-views. That's just how it is. And I know some people will say, well, what's the last name got to do with it? There is so much brand recognition in just the Rhodes name. But like I said, Cody Rhodes was on WWE TV for 10 years. Even the casual lapse fan that maybe hasn't watched for 10 years hears that Cody Rhodes is in AEW, they might just do a double take. You know, even they watched wrestling for maybe a month 10 years ago, but they saw Cody Rhodes. Well, I quite like Cody Rhodes. If you just hear, you're flicking through the channels and you hear, oh, Cody's up next, you go, who's that? But then you hear Cody Rhodes, you go, oh, wait a minute. Your ears prick up and you go, oh, maybe I'll stay and watch. It's that kind of thing that WWE wants to prevent here. WWE doesn't want to help their competition, so why let the trademark lapse? That's ultimately the situation here. I understand it. It's business, and it makes total business sense for WWE to keep the trademark. It makes the most sense in the world. Why allow your competition to have the trademark, and why help your competition? It doesn't make any sense from a WWE point of view. It doesn't make any sense from a financial point of view. Yes, it's petty, but business-wise, I understand it, and petty is business. That's just what the business world is. It's very petty, it's very cutthroat, and ultimately, it's all about money. That's what it will always come down to. WWE, that's why they're running shows during the pandemic. That's why AEW are running shows during the pandemic, because it's about money. But again, don't tell me that WWE isn't interested in AEW or AEW isn't competition, because WWE wouldn't care as much as they obviously do if AEW wasn't competition to the WWE. That's just what it is. That's how many times now have WWE done this sort of thing when it comes to AEW? You think of all the counter programming that NXT have done for AEW, and people will say, "Oh, that's not true." Yeah, of course it's true. I mean, you can look back at the Great American Bash countering to Fyter Fest. They announced that the week prior to Fyter Fest, so it was obviously hot-shotted massively. Okay, going to Wednesday nights, going to 2 hours, preventing Cody Rhodes from using the Rhodes name. I'd have nothing against it. I've mentioned this several times on this channel. I have nothing against WWE doing that because it's cutthroat, it's business, it's all about money. But the thing I take... or I roll my eyes at, should I say, is this point of, oh, they're not competition. Why would you do all of these things if they're not competition? So that lie is just farcical at this point. It's just counter-programming, holding on to trademarks. It's competition. That's what it is. Just admit, they're competition. And I think that it might have taken WWE a while to realise this, or maybe it didn't, because look, it was going to lapse, and they did let it lapse. They filed this late renewal over a month after it had lapsed. I don't think the pandemic had anything to do with that. I think it's just a good excuse to get the WWE out of hot water for being like, why did we let that lapse? It's just stupid. It's stupidity. If anything, that's what it is. Maybe stupidity, arrogance. They thought that Cody Rhodes wasn't going to be paying attention to it, or they thought no one was going to be paying attention to it. I don't know. But the pandemic, they just used it as an excuse to get him out of hot water. That's what it is. It lapsed. Probably, most likely, and I wouldn't put this past WWE, the reason it probably lapsed is because they just weren't paying attention to it. We've seen them do this quite a few times, and especially in the last few years when it comes to trademarks, WWE. They did this with a ton of WCW pay-per-view names, didn't they? Which Cody Rhodes then very quickly snapped up. He was like, I want them. And that led to AEW now having the Bash at the Beach. They had the Bash at the Beach in January, didn't they? And a lot of people were like, how on earth has AEW got the Bash at the Beach? Isn't that a WWE thing? Well, WWE let the trademarks lapse, and then Cody Rhodes snapped them up. He tried to snap up a load more, but then WWE were wise to this, and then WWE suddenly got them back in. I think there was like Slamboree and a couple of other ones. I think they even tried to get a couple of old ECW pay-per-views, but again, WWE snapped them up very, very quickly because, again, they realised, oh, wait a minute, there is still brand recognition in this. There is still a monetary value to having these trademarks because the competition wants them and they see that you can make money out of them, so maybe we should keep them. Not because we're going to use them to make money, but us having them prevents the competition from making money from them. That's ultimately what it is. Okay? Cody Rhodes started snapping up those WCW pay-per-view names. WWE were like, oh crap, and tried to get them back. I think this is just another case. It lapsed. Cody went, I'll have that. It is my name, after all. WWE were like, oh crap, get it back, get it back. And that's what it is. I think it was naivety, arrogance, laziness, whatever. But WWE, look, they've got the name back. Cody Rhodes isn't going to have the Rhodes name in AEW anytime soon. Is it the end of the world? Not really. Look, he's done fine without it so far. Look, he's become a bigger star since leaving WWE without the Rhodes name, so I don't think that's an issue. A lot of the time when he was announced to the ring with Brandy Rhodes anyway, it's Cody with Brandy Rhodes, so they kind of, imply that it's Cody Rhodes, they just call him Cody. It's not a big deal. I think at this point, because Cody Rhodes has just been Cody for a long time, a lot of people aren't that bothered with it anymore, but for a wrestling purist and for someone who is a fan of Cody Rhodes and his work, it would be nice to have him known as Cody Rhodes and have him have his last name. It's just one of those legal mumbo jumbos, isn't it? That when someone leaves the WWE, because the WWE has to own everything, including your name, you can't really do much about it. My biggest takeaway from this story is, once again, WWE can't keep telling people that AEW isn't competition, because they obviously are, because they wouldn't care as much if they weren't competition. 2, WWE, they really need to get on top of their trademarks. Who on earth, from their law department, the trademark lawyers or whatever, who is keeping on top of these things? Because I swear it's every 3 or 4 months we hear a story at this point going, this trademark lapse, they didn't do this, they didn't do this. I think it was the Revival. They tried to trademark Shatter Machine and other things, FTR and all of that stuff. And they got FTR, which was on their tights for the longest time in WWE. WWE, come on. If I'm inside the WWE right now, I'm talking to people going, why is no one keeping on top of these things? Why is this even becoming a story? If WWE were actually on top of their trademarks and renewed them with plenty of time to spare, this wouldn't even be a story. This wouldn't even be a thing in which WWE looks petty. They could have saved a lot of PR face if they just kept on top of these things, but they didn't. It became messy, and again, it had nothing to do with the pandemic. It's probably WWE just being very sloppy, like they have been historically when it comes to these trademarks. That's what WWE does recently. Some people, I bet the conspiracy theorists out there will be going, I bet they let it lapse for a reason. I bet they did it on purpose, just to get Cody Rhodes' hopes up and then bang, hit him again when he's down. I don't think that's the case, but hey, social media, I've said that, they'll jump all over it. So who knows? But again, I don't hold grudges against WWE for that. It's business. It makes business sense. It's a shame for Cody Rhodes. It's a shame for AEW that he can't use his name. It's one of those things. It's business. It's very cutthroat, and business sometimes is very petty. We just have to accept it and get on with it. Cody Rhodes seemingly has done the same. So, but don't tell me. Don't WWE people say AEW isn't competition. Any professional wrestling company is competition if it can take money out of the WWE's pocket. That's what it is. That's what the story is. But of course, this is just one man's opinion. What is your opinion on Cody Rhodes so nearly getting the trademark to use his name in AEW, but WWE ultimately renewing the Cody Rhodes trademark name? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wrestle News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right-hand corner of the screen right now, or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video, along with another video for you to watch. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. They're on the screen right now. That's at 365Wrestle on Twitter and at Wrestle News 365 on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you've come across this video today, and I'll speak with you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.